Mount collecting isn't just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. In this video we're celebrating the top 100 rarest World of Warcraft mounts of 2025. Whether you're a veteran collector or just getting started, this list will show you the true crown jewels of Azeroth. The mounts featured in this list are still obtainable in the game, so there are no unobtainable mounts in this list. And since the War Within expansion hasn't finished yet, there will be no mounts in this list from that expansion. The list is based on how many players actually own the mount, not by how rare the drop chance is. All my data is from third-party websites, and only the WoW devs know exactly how many players actually own these mounts. With all that said, let's see the top 100 current rarest mounts. Number 100 is the Pale Gravewing, which you can buy for 1000 Stygia from Duchess Minx in Korthia after obtaining the achievement on the offensive. At 99 is the Bone Sown Flesh Rock, which you can get by doing the Abomination Stitching activity in Maldraxxus. At number 98 is the Chosen Turretless, which you can get by completing the achievement The Gang's All Here from the Abomination Stitching activity in Maldraxxus. 97 is Gorespine, which drops from the rare Nerissa Heartless in Maldraxxus. Number 96 is the Mechanocycle Model W, which you can get by completing the meta achievement Mecha Done in the Battle for Azeroth expansion. And 95 is the Battle Hardened Aquilon, which you can buy for 1000 Stygia from Duchess Minx in Korthia after obtaining on the offensive achievement. 94 is the Crimson Water Strider, which you can get from the Garrison Fishing Shack once you hit best friend reputation with Nat Pagal. At number 93 is the Battlefield Swarmer, which you can buy for 1000 Stygia from Duchess Minx in Korthia after obtaining the achievement on the offensive. 92 is the Hand of Salagranga, which you can get by completing the meta achievement Breaking the Chains in the Shadowlands expansion. At number 91 is the Proudmoore Sea Scout, which you can buy from Provision of Frey in Turga Sound once you reach Exalted with the Proudmoore Admiralty and you've got the achievement Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder Part 2. At 90 is our big boy Tavian, which you can get by completing the World Awoken meta achievement in the Dragonflight expansion. 89 is the Vicious War Bear, which you can buy from your faction PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 88 is the Blisterback Blood Tusk, which drops from the rare Warbringer Malkarak in Maldraxxus. At 87 is the Vicious Black Bone Steed, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 86 is the Ferocious Gorger, which you can get by completing the Glory of the Shadowlands Hero achievement. At number 85 is the Vicious War Trike, which you can buy from your PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 84 is the Iskara Trader's Atuk, which you can buy from the vendor Takutika from the Azure Span. Number 83 is the Sundered Zereth Steed, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 82 is the Ineffable Skitterer, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 81 is the Inkscale Deep Seeker, which you can buy from Dazariran or Crafticus Mindbender in Nazjatar for 150 Nazjatar battle commendations. At 80 is the Vicious War Ram, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 79 is Voldenai Dunescraper, which you can buy from the vendor Hoarder Jenna for 90,000 gold once you hit Exalted with the Voldenai in BFA. 78 is the Argent Charger, which you can buy from the vendor Dame in the Icecrown Citadel for 100 champion seals. 77 is the Vicious War Kodo, which you can buy from your faction PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 76 is the Enchanted Waker's Runestag, which you can get from the Night Fae Covenant feature The Queen's Conservatory in the Shadowlands. At number 75 is the Bronze Helicid, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 74 is the Rusty Mechano Crawler, which drops from the rare Arachnoid Harvester in Mechagon. 73 is the Mighty Caravan Brutasaur, which used to be purchased in BFA for 5 million gold, but now the only way to get this mount is from the Black Market Auction House. 72 is the Vicious Sabertooth, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 71 is the Armoured Chosen Turretless, which you can get by completing the achievement Things You Do When You're Dead from the Shadowlands. At number 70 is the Obsidian Kurlisk, which you can get by completing the achievement Glory of the Worn-Torn Hero from Battle for Azeroth. 69 is the Vicious Black Warsaber, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 68 is the Gillian Warhorse, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 67 is the Ren Stalwart Hound, which drops from the rare the Houndlord Ren in the Vale of Eternal Blossoms.
Number 66 is the Vicious War Fox, which you can get from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle.
65 is the Catcher's Swamp Stalker, which you can buy from the vendor Provisioner Lygia in Nazmir when you hit Exalted with Talanji's Expedition. 64 is the Vicious War Croaker, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 63 is the Waste Marauder, which drops from the rare Rot Feaster in Uldum. 62 is the Frightened Frightened Kodo, which drops from the rare the Frightened Kodo in Darkshore. 61 is Buzz, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. At number 60 is the Storm Song Coast Watcher, which you can buy from Sister Lillian in Stormsong Valley once you reach Exalted with the Storm's Weight, and got the achievement Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder Part 2. At 59 is the Dusty Warcraft Griffin, which you can buy from Aelcorn in Drustvar once you reach Exalted with the Order of Embers, and got the achievement Battle for Azeroth Pathfinder Part 2. At 58 is the Vicious War Mechano Strider, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 57 is the Vicious War Turtle, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 56 is the Vicious War Lion, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 55 is the Vicious War Scorpion, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 54 is the Vicious War Strider, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. At 53 is Valiance, which drops from the instructor Resuvius once you have unlocked all the secrets of Naxxramas added in Dragonflight. 52 is Enmire Flyer, which drops from the rare Famu the Infinite in Revendreth. 51 is Shellac, which you can get by completing the Glory of the Dragonflight Hero achievement in Dragonflight. Number 50 is Nylofa Allseer, which drops from Mythic N'Zoth in Nylofa Raid in BFA. 49 is the Gooey Snail Mental, which you can get by collecting 50 leftover elemental slime in the Forbidden Reach in Dragonflight. 48 is the prestigious Midnight Corsair, which you can get by reaching 250 honor level in PvP. 47 is the Vespoid Flutterer, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 46 is the Vicious War Basilisk, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 45 is the Vicious War Elk, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 44 is the Ascendant Skymane, which drops from the caches of Ascendance in Bastion. 43 is the Prototype Leaper, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 42 is the Vicious War Stalker, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 41 is the Gold Plate Buffinid, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. At 40 is Vengeance, which drops from Mythic Sylvanas Windrunner in the Sanctum of Domination raid in the Shadowlands. 39 is the Moorsorn Shadehound, which drops from the rare the Gorge Shadehound in the Moor. 38 is Anorelius, which drops from Mythic Farak from Amidasol raid in Dragonflight. 37 is a Curious Crystal Sniffer, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 36 is the Bound Shadehound, which you can get by completing the quest Feral Shadehound in the Maw. 35 is Celesta Battle Harness, which you can get from the Venthia Covenant feature The Mirror Network in the Shadowlands. 34 is the Solar Spyhawk, which drops from the War Boss Rukmar in the Walls of Draenor. 33 is the Bronze Wing Vespoid, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 32 is the Vicious War Snail, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 31 is Zoval Soul Eater, which you can get by completing the Shadowlands meta achievement Back from Beyond. At number 30 is the Hope Crusher Gargon, which drops from the rare the Hope Crusher in Revendreth. 29 is the Darken Vombata, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 28 is the Conqueror's Scythemaw, which you can get by completing the achievement Conquerors of Azeroth in BFA. 27 is the Green Marsh Hopper, which you can purchase from the vendor Gotham in Nazmir for 333,333 gold. 26 is the Russet Buffinid, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 25 is the Maid-Bound Spell Tome, which you can get by completing the achievement Ator Towers from the Mage Tower in Legion. 24 is the Eternal Phalanx of Loyalty, which you can get by completing the achievement Death's Forsworn, and then you're able to purchase the mount from Binkarus in Bastion. 23 is the Vicious Moonbeast, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. 22 is the Eternal Phalanx of Humility, which you can get by completing the achievement Learning from your Masters, and then you're able to purchase the mount from Binkarus in Bastion. 21 is the Rustbolt Resistor, which you can buy from the vendor, the Stolen Royal Vendor Bot, in Mechagon, once you reach Exalted with the Rustbolt Resistance in BFA. At 20 is the Unsuccessful Prototype Fleet Pod, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 19 is the More Adapted Raptora, which comes from the Protoform Synthesis activity in the Shadowlands. 18 is the Bone Hoof Tolerus, which drops from the rare Tahunta in Maldraxxus. 17 is the Blue Marsh Hopper, which you can purchase from the vendor Gotham in Nazmir for 333,333 gold. 16 is the Swift Rosari Raptor. This mount used to be obtained in Zul'Gurub, but they removed it in patch 4.0.3, so the only way to obtain this mount now is in the Black Market Auction House. At number 15 is the Silent Glider, which drops from the rare Soundless in Nazjatar. 14 is the Swift Zulian Tiger, which is the same as the Razagi Raptor. It got removed in patch 4.0.3, and you can only get this mount from the black market auction house. 13 is the Pond Nettle, which you can get by fishing in the Entoran Waste in Legion. On the Wildhood comments, players say it took around 25,000 and 85,000 casts to get this mount. 12 is the Inquisition Gargon, which you can buy from the vendor Genera in Revendreth, once you've hit Exalted Reputation with the Avowed. 11 is the Bloodfan Widow, which you could buy from the Mad Merchant in Dalaran for 2 million gold in Legion. At number 10 is the Azeroth Overseer, which drops from Mythic Jailer in Sepulchre of the First One's raid in the Shadowlands. 9 is the Vicious Dream Talon, which you can buy from your faction's PvP Quartermaster for 1 Vicious Saddle. Number 8 is a Yellow Marsh Hopper, which you could purchase from the vendor Gotham in Nazmir for 333,333 gold. 7 is the Desire Battle Gargon, which drops from the Embercore activity with the Venthia Covenant in the Shadowlands. Number 6 is the Cobalt Shalewing, which drops from the rare Karo Katar in Zarek Caverns. 5 is the Palehide Direhorn, which can be purchased from Tulutu in Zolazar and Tricky Nicky in Turga Sound for 500,000 gold. Number 4 is the Liberated Slyvan, which drops from the rare Breezebiter in the Azure Span. Number 3 is the Ivory Hawk Strider, which you can buy from the vendor Trinket in High Mountain for 10,000 gold, once you hit Exalted with a secret reputation called the Talon's Vengeance in the Legion expansion. Number 2 is the Prestigious Bloodforged Corsair, which you can get by reaching honor level 500 in PvP. And finally, the rarest mount in World of Warcraft is the Plagued Proto-Drake. You used to be able to get this mount from the achievement Glory of the Raider in Naxxramas Raid, but they removed this achievement in patch 3.1. And the only way to get this mount now is from the black market auction house. And while I was actually farming a rare in Zereth Mortis, someone came up to me with the actual Plague Proto-Drake. And I did ask him how did he get the mount, and he got it from a black market container, which only cost him 45,000 gold. Well, there you have it. There is the top 100 rarest mounts of World of Warcraft 2025. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe for more WoW content. And a quick shout out to my Twitch channel, where I'm currently doing the expansion lot challenge, where I can't leave the Shadowlands expansion until I've collected everything. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.